How many requests for tickets are you getting right now?
None whatsoever. Yeah, this is the Golden Boy card, and we only got about 20 tickets. So I'll let everybody, especially my family and friends, know that we don't have none. Oscar De La Hoya wasn't having it.
Well, Dan, talking about how this is kind of new to you, but Canelo's been here and done that, so people look at that as an advantage for him and experience. But at the same time, because it's your first time here, do you think you're hungrier than he is, and that can be an advantage for you?
I mean, I've been in big fights before. Like I've said, I've been in the stadium where it was a sold-out show, and I've fought on TV in front of millions of people viewing. So that nervousness or that feeling is not unfamiliar to me, and I can now strive in it because of the experience that I do have. So I'm just looking forward to getting the job done. But as far as like this being my first rodeo, even though this is the peak and the magnitude of it is at an all-time high, it's still not unfamiliar to me because, I mean, it's what, 20 more cameras doesn't mean any difference, you know, or a couple more million people viewing, it's really not going to make a difference. I've already experienced that. So I'm just looking forward to being the best version of myself come fight night.
Do you think you're the hungrier fighter though?
In my mind, I think I'm still hungry because even though I've had a lot of success in boxing, I still feel like I'm always going to be the B-side. That's just me telling myself mentally, like, you're still B-side, you're still not a champion, you still have to, act as if you're hungry and act as if you haven't made it and act as if you haven't had success. And that's what drives me, because where I come from in Brownsville, I never had anything handed to me. So I keep all of those things in my mind to kind of keep me on a straight and narrow.
Hostile environments. Hear all these fans cheering for Canelo every punch he lands and they cheering for him. Has there been any fight that you can kind of compare or think about where you had to deal with a hostile environment and overcome it?
The Golovkin fight, it was a semi-hostile territory. Even though by the end of the night we gained a lot of fans and people were rooting for me by the end of the night, but I just think that how I use the energy is going to affect me in the best way shape possible because I thrive on just energy. And like I've said before, whether they're booing for me or whether they're booing against me, the fact that it's going to be noise and cheering and screams, that's going to pump me up. So it's just going to bring the best out of me.
When, you talk about the judges being swayed and things like that, but how are you swayed by the crowd when they're cheering for Canelo, maybe a punch that you block they're cheering for? How do you turn that energy into not nervous energy or excitement, but how do you stay composed in that moment?
Well, I just get excited, but it's really up to me to know how to go with that excitement and work harder or push harder or to fall back and box. And, I had that experience and, I'm not going to react to every cheer, to every chant. But like I said before, it just fuels me. It doesn't do the opposite of what people may think, which is, make me feel like I'm not doing a good job or, deter me from getting the job done.
Dan, can you talk about the decision to accept the rehydration clause?
I'm sorry?
Can you talk about the decision to accept the rehydration clause?
Well, I don't know if we would have got the fight if we wouldn't accept the terms that Golden Boy set out. And plus, this is not something that I'm not familiar with. We did it in my last fight, and I physically felt great. We followed the 10-pound rules, and we still came in the fight the weight that we wanted to come in. It's just that the day before we have to eat still kind of on a diet that we've been having all along the camps, which is not a bad thing. I mean, the 10-pound rule is not the worst thing that they could have thrown at me. So
were you insulted by that?
I wasn't insulted at all. No, I kind of knew it. It was actually kind of expected because when I fought Golovkin, there was this whole big thing, which was a lie, that I came in the ring at 180, 85 pounds, and that was the reason that I was able to do so well. But if you guys know boxing, a fighter who gained 25 pounds in less than 24 hours can't perform the way that I perform, can't move, can't be sharp the way that I was in the Golovkin fight. So I'm here to not only kill that and let the fans know that I go by the rules and that I can come into the fight at a comfortable weight where it's convenient for me and I don't need any advantages. It's just my skills that speak for themselves.
What are the terms of that cost? I know you can only put on no more than 10 pounds after weight. When is that second check?
So the weigh-in will be at 8 o'clock in the morning on Saturday. Listen, he doesn't have to come in 10 pound under.
No, but
It's up to him.
you're going to win eating on Saturday.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, he can come in over 10 pounds if he wants. There's penalties, there's still a fight. But see how he feels.
So if he's 170, he's on.
There's penalties.
Right, but if he's
Yeah, but 170, that's the requirements of the contract. But still, if he doesn't feel like making it, and he's got a bit of spare change, he might choose to come in a couple of pounds over. Or I might pay it for him. You never know. But the one thing's for sure, he won't lose a belt, he won't lose the fight. It's just, but really, when we spoke about this was the last point of the deal to speak about with Keith and Danny. And it wasn't even, oh no, I can't believe they've asked for that. It was like, no problem.
Right.
And how much are we talking about?
Well,
We can't talk about that.
that's small change for you, Dan.
Danny, you were in New York. You lost the closest person to Triple G, and you know the history of boxing is that whether it exists or not, it seems like there's a seed in judges' head that they know this is in the best interest of boxing for me to maybe score this round this way to the fighter who should win. How do you deal with that this fight? You've got to be trading a little bit extra for that knockout to take that out of the equation.
Not really. We're not really training to do anything extra than what I feel like we need to. Obviously, we want to be able to give our best, but I feel like my best will be enough. I think what I've learned from the Golovkin fight is probably to come forward a little bit more and not stay on the back foot so much, or at least stand my ground and be sharp in that aspect. But I don't think we need to be who we're not inside that ring and try to perform because of the sway of the crowd or because of the influence of the judges. We have fine judges, everything is intact. I think I'll get a fair shake, and I think it's really just up to me to go inside the ring and prove my destiny.